The world is getting louder, but the silence of the road is the only thing I crave. In a high-speed version of a freedom that is reaching for the edge of the lonely bone grave. I'm a high-octane hermit, living in a cabin of the iron and the silver and the lead. Blessed by the rhythm of the distance and the things that the exhaust pipe prophet said. The tires are humming a lullaby to the ghosts of the long forgotten and the weary built tracks, with the weight of the universe finally falling right off of our heavy duty and our weary backs. I'm a voyager of the motion, a scholar of the grease and the grit and the structural grime, borrowing a little bit of the mercy from the banking of a borrowed and a weary time. I've seen the people trapped inside of their stationary built and they're hollowed out and their city dreams, wasting their lives away in the middle of the city built and the industrial built and the hollowed schemes. But I'm out here on the perimeter, I'm out here where the air is thin and wide, with a sense of the wonder and the peace living deep on the dark red and the indigo inside. The steering wheel is a compass pointing to the heart of the great and the long distance unknown, finding my own version of the kingdom while I'm driving through the desert all alone. It's a high-speed version of a baptism, washing of the weary and the stationary and the hollowed soul, in the only place where a simple-hearted man can feel perfectly and finally in control. Peace, piston, purple sky, watching the worries of the weary built and the hollow world go by. Peace, piston, purple sky, the king of the silence, and I don't even have to try. The stars are my only companions, and they don't ever ask for a reason why. As I lean into the darkness beneath the lid of a mountaintop and a violet and a permanent sky, I see the reflections of the ancestors in the chrome of the flickering and the silver line light. A beautiful built version of a structural and a spiritual and a mechanical built site. I'll ride until the light breaks and the indigo turns into the charcoal and the gold underneath the judgment of the permanent and the gasoline colored sun that is brave and bold. The gears are shifting perfectly, the machine and the man are finally and perfectly as one, fulfilling the simple demands of a structure on a permanent built and a high-octane game. They ask me if I'm lonely, they ask me if I'm looking for a stationary built in a hollowed home, but they don't understand the peace of a man who was intended to actually and truly roam. The road is the mother, the road is the father, the road is the only and the permanent friend. From the very first mile to the final right, in the infinite and the long distance bend. Peace, piston, purple sky, watching the worries of the weary built and a hollowed world go by. Peace, piston, purple sky, the king of the silence, and I don't even have to try. by the silver line fever, in a heart that is forged in the high-octane flame. Moving through the territory that the stationary built folk could never even claim. The road is a ribbon of the patience and the wisdom and the ancient built light, cutting a hole through the center of the never-ending in the indigo color night. I'm a nomad of the distance, a scholar of the grease and the grit and the industrial grind, borrowing a little bit of the mercy from the banking of a borrowed and a weary time. My hands are joined in a prayer to the throttle and the spirit of the long haul run, underneath the judgment of the permanent and the gasoline colored and the indigo sun. I've seen the empires of the concrete and the empires of the hollow build and the city fame falling into the ruins of the memories and the long forgotten and the industrial build name. But out here on the blacktop, the only thing that matters is the fire and the spark, giving a sense of the direction in the belly of the never-ending and the midnight dark. The exhaust is the incense and the engine is the organ in this house of the gear, drowning out the pulse of the industrial and the stationary and the human-built fear. It's a sanctuary of the motion, a temple of the rubber and the silver-lined and the structural grace, and this time forgotten and this beautiful and this wide open and lonely place. Drift, dream, diamond track, leaving every shadow of the world in the long distance and the back. Drift, dream, diamond track, a high-speed version of a silver line and a spiritual build attack. The white lines are the stitches sewing up the fabric of the dark red and the velvet sky, reflecting the reason why the stationary and the weary build and the hollowed souls die. But I'm still moving, I'm still breathing in the heat and the high octane and the permanent flame, answering the syllables of a long forgotten and a structural, a permanent name. I'll ride until the light breaks and the indigo turns to the charcoal and the gold, underneath the judgment of the permanent and the gasoline colored sun that is brave and bold. The gears are shifting perfectly, the machine and the man are finally and perfectly is one, fulfilling the simple demands of a structural, a permanent build and a high-octane game. You don't need a steeple, you don't need a priest to find the final ride and the spiritual way. You just need the road and the engine and the glory of the indigo colored Saturday day. It's a bond that is eternal, it's a bond that is written in the grease and the soul, in the only place where a simple man can feel perfectly and finally whole. Drift, dream, diamond track, leaving every shadow of the world in the long distance and the back. Drift, dream, diamond track, a high-speed version of a silver line and a spiritual build attack. The city's a memory fading out in a blur of a silver and a pale red light. While while I'm sinking my teeth into the belly of the never-ending in the hollow night. My knuckles are white, carved out of bone in the history of a 1,000-mile grip. Watching the world and the stationary people slowly and perfectly start to slip. The dashboard is glowing like a dying star in a vacuum of the indigo and the gray, holding the secrets of the drifter that the sunlight would only try to steal away. I'm a pilot of the gravity, a scholar of the grease and the high-octane and the lead, keeping the spirit of the highway alive in every single word that I've said. I've seen the neon signs bleeding like wounds on the side of the rain-slick road, carrying the weight of a monumental and a silver line and a heavy-duty load. The windshield is a mirror reflecting the wreckage of the choices that I had to make, in a high-speed version of a dream where the spirit is finally and truly awake. The wipers are rhythmic, beating a prayer against the glass and the mountain air, drowning out the pulse of the industrial and the hollowed out and the human-built despair. There's a clarity in the motion, a mercy in the way the white lines start to glow, in the places where the lonely and the permanent and the silver line rivers grow. Grit, glow, gasoline paint, washing out the sorrow in the copper tinted and the midnight rain. Grit, glow, gasoline paint, the king of the asphalt and the sovereign of the lane. The dawn is a jagged blade of the orange and the gold cutting through the morning haze. A lonely born observer of the ruins of the old-fashioned and the Saturday night days. But I'm not done with the fire, I'm not done with the friction and the structural speed, providing the dark-hearted salvation that a wandering spirit will desperately need. I'll ride until the iron turns to powder and the powder turns into the spiritual dust, in the middle of a machine that is built out of the glory and the silver line trust. The gears are shifting perfectly, the machine and the man are finally and truly as one, underneath the heat of the permanent and the gasoline color and the indigo sun. They seek their peace in the valleys and the houses and the stationary built stone, but I found my version of the heaven while I was riding through the desert all alone. It's a meditation, a motion, a prayer that is whispered in the fire and the gear, leaving every bit of the world in the long distance and the silver line rear.